but we'll see what happens. It is a live stream on a Wednesday night here in Japan. And oh, hey, what's going on, Michael? You haven't registered. I see still 0 people. So YouTube is not acknowledging you at the moment. Um, Anyway, I am doing this live stream because I said that I would yesterday and the day before and then like the week. So I think it's been a while. I don't quite recall, but I do want to do this, share the stuff that's happened, and kind of get it out of the way so I don't have all the stuff that I've done and seen and have it start piling up. So yeah, it is Wednesday, November 26th. Tomorrow is going to be Thanksgiving in the States. I do miss my turkey, my stuffing, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, all that stuff. I've been in Asia, Korea, and now Japan, so 15 plus years, and I still miss a good old Thanksgiving dinner with the family. So, all right, but let's go ahead and get started. So, for those who have been wondering, who are curious, my foot has gotten better. I can walk now much more distance without having to deal with any pain the following day, which is a big thing. Because of that, I slowly began kind of taking steps to get back into going to shows, doing photos more slowly. Um, so what? It's been a couple of months, about a couple of months since I started going back to shows. It's been about a month now, 3 weeks that yes, I did. Thank you so much for finally sending that. Thank you. Um, but at the request, at the not the behest, at the request um, of Serge K, Captain Koji, who is the founder. He also has his own YouTube channel called Sound Rockets TV. He's interviewed people like, I believe, Paradox, Brideer, some other people, a lot of older bands. So he's been around in the scene for a while. But Serge K was releasing a mini album. Serge K is the side project that Mayo and Yuri from Hades are doing. So he asked me if I could. I said, "Oh, I'm not fully healed, so I don't know if I should." He's like, "Well, since I mentioned it, hey, what's going on, Alan? Good to see you. Um, since I mentioned it, please feel free to come." And I said, "Well, if I'm gonna be going to the show anyway, then sure, I'll try to take a few photos. Not as many, but I'll see what I can do." So I did do that. My foot was okay, and I thought, okay, so I'll try a little bit more. Hades was performing the following week at Shibuya Cyclone. So after work, I actually went over because it was a weekday. I usually don't do that, but it was a weekday. I went over, did photos for them. It was great to see them perform again, like in over 6 months. So that was pretty wild. There's certain bands that just, it's weird. At one moment, you see them almost every single weekend, and then out of it's kind of happens so that you don't see them at all for a while. I feel that way strongly with Let It Out Lydia. Last year, I saw them a few times, and I just felt like I'd seen them like successively. And then this year, I haven't seen them at all, just because of just scheduling conflict, weekday shows and whatnot. So yeah, so we did that, and then before that, so I'm pretty sure I did mention to you guys that I did do a Gangire interview. Oh, no problem at all. Hey, Yushi-san, thank you for joining us. Guys, Yushi-san from Blacklisted has joined us. Yes, and I will definitely get into that show as well. So if you look behind me, I'm currently in the process of editing my interview with Gangire. This was pretty much at Shinjuku Station. There's a area, Southern Terrace area, with a restaurant called Egg Slut. But yeah, I thought it would be cool to have an interview, just kind of sitting down, having drinks, and just sort of snacking and stuff. But I think I think for Japanese, they feel a little bit. I think for I guess a lot of people would feel a little bit like weird about doing an interview while eating, but I thought that would help to like make it more comfortable and relaxing. But we'll see how it goes. I am in the process of doing it, and there's definitely some informative stuff, some fun stuff, and yeah, some stuff you just never would have known. So that should be coming in a few weeks, and I hope you guys will definitely watch it, enjoy it, and share it when it comes out. Um, it's getting busier and busier. I mentioned that I was afraid that once I started getting back into the scene, um, I would have the self-control to not overwhelm myself. I'm feeling it a little bit. I'm not quite there. I'm not quite where I was earlier this year and last year. So that's a good thing. But I do find myself slowly slipping back into just wanting to go to more shows, see more bands, take more photos. And I think I'm being a little bit more deliberate and choosing more carefully who I do photos for as well. Um, Before I was sort of just doing like, Are you playing tonight? Can I do photos for you? Are you playing tonight? Can I do photos for you?" So I tried to get everybody, but I'm not doing that. I want to be a little more careful. So anyway, yeah. So that was that. That was last Wednesday with Hades. Again, great seeing them again. Great taking photos for them again. And then last Saturday. Oh yeah, last Saturday I actually did. Oh, I did work. I was working on this kind of stuff. Um, I've actually been practicing guitar. It's been a long time, and it's for an upcoming thing. But I have been practicing some Metallica, and I have to say I've never actually done covers. So it's just the like they are legendary like down strummers, like what is it, down picking? I don't even know what the term is right now at the moment. But yeah, so I'm working on something and it should be a lot of fun. So that is that. Editing photos, videos, and then last Sunday, another couple of bands I haven't seen in a while. One I haven't seen in over a year, and then one I hadn't seen. I can't remember the last time. It'd been a while. So, uh, Nekomeshi 222 and 4xxERROCODE, both of them blacklisted record bands. It was cool. I was glad. So I reached out to Zakuro-san, who is the guitarist, composer, founder of Nekomeshi, and I asked if I could go to the show, do photos for him. I was invited, so it was great. It was great to hear them again. Like Nekomeshi really does. Like I've said this like from the first time that I really like took a listen to Nekomeshi, but their riffs are like just tasty, tasty stuff. And I know Zakura was a huge, massive Metallica fan, and there's a correlation there, and I think he really drew a lot of good stuff out of them. And then especially with Raizo, the singer, her death voice, especially on certain songs, it just I love it. And if you have not heard yet, Nekomeshi 222 just put out a recording. It's actually a live of them playing the song I really like called Dicey, Dicey. So if you want to check it out, I love just it just hits a spot. It just hits the spot. So check that out. And then 4xxERROCODE, they're a band from Akita, six-piece band, 3 males, 3 females, which is pretty wild. You don't often see 6 members in the band, but the one guitarist, the singer, the vocalist, and then the drummer are female, and then the bassist, the other guitarist, and then the death voice are male. So I saw them last year at Blacklisted's 20th anniversary, and I hadn't seen them since. I ended up watching their video by Team A Thrash a few months back, and I really liked it. I was like, oh, they've improved. It's gotten better. And then when I saw them this past Sunday, yeah, it was good. It was good. I think I tend to use this word, but they have a charm to them. Like the melodies and the way that the vocalist Yui sings, and just how I really like. There's a there's a sweetness and just a simplicity I really like, even though it is sort of like metal slash old school Japanese. I don't think it's Enka. I don't know. Yushi-san, you can confirm that, but it's good stuff. So check them out as well. 4xx Error Code. They do have an album out, but check out Team of Thrash, some live videos, and see what you think. So I did do photos for them. Posted some of that stuff on Twitter X and elsewhere. And yeah, it was good. It was just good to be back at just Crescendo 2 weeks in a row. I'll be back again this coming weekend for Hades and Stereo Gang, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, so that was Sunday, and then Monday was a holiday. And with the holiday, I decided to check out HAKU. I know, hey, what's going on? I know that a lot of people may have heard only of HAKU, that's HAKU, four-piece female band, because they did a cover by Mono no Aware. And they're very cutesy on video. There's a sweetness to them, a lightness to them. But I noticed as I was kind of checking out certain videos, like people would always mention the bassist, who didn't quite strike me as anything much at the beginning. And then as I was watching, I was like, oh, she is quite animated and entertaining. So then yesterday, it was in the Shinjuku area. There's a festival going on with tons of bands. I only saw two and like, no, 3.5 bands. No, three, three and a little bit of a couple of bands. The first was Atomic Skipper. Very youthful, very vibrant, very energetic. They definitely seem like dreamers. Like when I was watching them, like generally when I go to a show here in Japan, especially with the music that I listen to, the age group tends to be higher. This festival, I would say at large, catered more towards a younger crowd, anywhere from teens, college to the 20s and up. But there were a lot more youth, a lot more females. And one band I stepped into had pretty much only females. And then as I was watching, I was like, I mean, it could be good. And it wasn't bad. But then when a couple of guys walked out shirtless and the girls were kind of going off, oh no, my light went off. It's okay. I decided, maybe this is not for me. But a band called Atomic Skipper, I would definitely recommend that you check them out. They have a song called Kokoro, which means heart, which is at like 600 something thousand views. It's a little bit old, but Atomic Skipper, it was cool. It was good seeing the youth. It was good seeing a young crowd and their energy. And I think one of the things that I realized that when you have people who are millennials, Gen Xers, not millennials, sorry, boomers, Gen Xers, I don't, no, not millennials, but there's this constant complaint, and it's forever a constant thing. There's this complaint about the younger generation. There's almost like as you get older, you hold on, you have these trappings you hold on to of, oh, it used to be this way. Why couldn't it stay this way? Music was better back when I was this age. Things were better when I was this age. People were better. Things were better. Culture was better. And I don't know, as I was watching that band and I was watching these young kids just celebrating and dancing and just having the time of their life, it just struck me like, I think sometimes we can be, older generations can be real jerks, douches, assholes, whatever you want to call it. But we should be sort of paving the way for the younger generations. I think we should be embracing and really having more of an open mind and realizing that times do change and generations do kind of cycle through. And it's very unfair where we're sort of, I don't want to say we're on our last threads, but we are heading towards the latter half of our lives. But these are this youth in Japan and elsewhere too. But like, not to wax too poetic and philosophic, but watching that show made me realize, yeah, the youth are important. And I'm so happy that they have voices to speak for them, that they have leaders to encourage and inspire and really offer dreams to them. I think that's really necessary. So that was great. It was great to see them. I thought they were really, really good. Again, a lot of fun. Atomic Skipper. I saw another band. I do not know their name. Just kind of stepped in, and it was quite a few girls, and I was like, okay, kind of college age girls. We'll see. There was a female singer. She was a guest, and then another guy came on, and then wasn't bad. And then a couple other guys, the next couple of guest vocalists came out. They had their shirts off, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to see naked guys just right now. I'm not in the mood for that. So I stepped over to another show, band called Oh No, I Ate, and then I saw another band and I forgot their name. They weren't bad, three-piece band. Um, I wouldn't like totally go out of my way to hear them again, but I thought they were fun. And then finally, I was able to go to the front row. It was at a venue I've never been to called Shinjuku Mars, MARZ. That is where I watched. Um, that is where I watched HAKU for the first time, and being in front row, really did a number on me. Being right between the bassist Kano and the singer I found out their names yesterday. I didn't know their names going in. Kano and and then Na Nakazu. I think Nakazu. I could be wrong. Nakazu, the guitarist, and then the drummer. Her name is Mayu, like from Nemophila, right? Mayu. But they're setting up, they're tuning, they're adjusting like their equipment and stuff for volume and tone. And then, nothing really quite stands out, but I've seen the videos and it's always this way. Even if they're not the biggest band or the most like amazing band, there's something, okay, good, Nazuna. There is something about watching a band or seeing people for the first time after you've seen them a lot, like on a screen, whether it's YouTube, on a video, in the theaters, like on TV, whatever it is, but they seem like, oh my God, like there they are, they're real, and that definitely had an effect where it's like, oh my gosh, there they are, that's her. I've seen them on all these like YouTube shorts. But what struck me right away was that they're all Fender girls. Um, Fender Strat for the guitarist, for the lead guitarist. The vocalist, rhythm guitarist, also had a Fender, but she was playing a Telecaster. And then the bassist, Kano, had a Fender Precision bass. So I thought, okay, I'm kind of getting a vibe here. And I hadn't listened enough to them to really know what to expect. But I have to say, like, it was 30 minutes of just being blown away. Very vintage. Their tone and their melodies and their sensibilities, it kind of gave me a throwback. It was vintage. It gave me sort of like old school at times. Sometimes like bits of 60s, bits of 70s. And there were moments where they were just in the pocket and they were like sort of watching each other and really feeling each other. Like you could really see, like when you see certain bands, some bands are really fully catered towards the audience. Like they're a very outward band. Other bands kind of turn more inward. Some are more just playing their own parts. But there are these moments where you find these bands and they really gel and you could see them and you could hear them and sense them feeling each other. And there were these moments where they were just so like in the pocket, and it felt like I was watching almost like a jazz band or sort of the old school, like more improvisational, like classic rock bands kind of going at it. um yeah, no, absolutely, they are incredible. They are incredible. It's one of my best and favorite shows that I've been to being here in Japan. And I've been to like, you know, quite a few, like definitely over 100. Um, at this point, it could probably be 150 shows, I guess, since I've been here. Um, I was a little bit of like late bloomer, let's be honest. But man, I was really blown away. I was really blown away. Um, Again, the tone was excellent. The vibe was excellent. The musicality, the melodies, the way they just interplayed between each other, the simplicity of it all. I think because I tend to go to shows that are much more about technicality, about sort of like showing certain things off. Um, but I'm actually kind of an old school person, and my favorite band is the Beatles. And I was quite an Anglophile back in the day. So hearing HAKU, and it felt so good. Like it was just so clean, and just like I could hear everything coming in, everything coming in. Um, and to save the best for last, seeing being right again, right at the front row, and then Kano. So I know this is flipped, but I'm just gonna do it from where I'm viewing it. Kano is here on this side of the stage. I is here in the middle singing, and then Kano, just seeing her expressions, and then I had absolutely no idea how wild she could get, and I mean that like in the best possible way. Getting so into the music, so into the song, so in the pocket, so just in the groove. And it's overwhelming. I think when you see someone excelling or really just like being fully in a moment, I think whether it's like an actor, you're like, oh my gosh, that was amazing, or it's an athlete, oh my God, they were amazing, or a musician. And I have to say, like, Kano is definitely one of those people I want to see just over and over again. Like, she moves me, she like made me just feel so much, from her facial expressions, from her just the way she moved, the way she grooved. It was really incredible. So they finished their set. They came back for an encore. Yeah, they came back for an encore. Um, there are more CDs, more than two. The ones that were available there when I went up, because you have to go downstairs, was Catch. This is actually a really great EP. It's 4 songs, but I would actually check this out. So if you have like Spotify or Apple Music or whatever it is, you can check it out on YouTube. But yeah, definitely check out Catch. Um, this is their first full album. This is not, this is a couple of years old. I think I prefer their sound more recently. Their tone, their songwriting, their arrangement, I prefer it more like now. But it's definitely worth checking out. Um, what is Nikki? Sha. If you can see this, Yushi-san, if you can translate something Nikki, something diary or journal. Sha, something. Is that young? Gosh. Anyway, I got so excited. I went up. I ended up buying. I wasn't expecting to buy anything except maybe a CD, but I got a towel, and then I ended up buying a T-shirt, which I wore like the next day because I was so happy to like rep for them. It's a cute, simple shirt. I really rarely do white just because, over the years it gets kind of yellowed, and I'm not, I don't want to go through the hassle of bleaching, but so it's a very simple shirt. Um, yeah. So yeah, I mentioned this on my Facebook, but I haven't been this overwhelmed by a band from a first live since Bandmade. And I know like people are like, what are you talking about? For those who are like absolute Bandmade lovers, but I gotta tell you, like I was really, really taken with the band, with what they've done, what they were doing, just my experience of it. And I know being in front row. So then I waited and I waited because I knew that I could probably get um, their set list. So this is actually Kano's. So I was really happy because I was standing between I and Kano, but I was like, oh, if I could get it, because I was closer to I a little bit. If I could get it, I would prefer to get Kano's. And then she came out, and then a guy was actually standing in front of her. But I was like, oh, is it okay if I get a set list? And then she reached out, gave it to me. She's like, oh, like, you know, you guys kind of share between each other or something. And then, no, the band's name is HAKU, HAKU. But the album, the EP is Catch. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I would love to take a photo with them. So they actually have another show coming up December 29th. There's a whole like few days of festivals of shows, all these bands like in Japan. So I'm definitely going to, oh, I bought my ticket. I didn't pay for it. I have to pay for it, and then I'll get my ticket for that show. So I'll see them again in a month, and I'm excited about that. But yeah, favorite moments of that show was when they would like, when Kana would come out to the front of the stage, and I was like, I had to look up to see like her headstock and the neck like right above me, and she was just like, you know, like this close. And I was just like, wow, this is cool. It was a cool moment. So definitely a fantastic first experience with HAKU. What you get from them from YouTube Shorts or what you get from them from like music videos, not even close to what you'll experience when you see them live. That's all I can say. But if you like vintage, clean tones, if you like really simple melodies, but a lot of counter melodies, this is, I don't know how many of you guys know a band called Block Party. They're a British band that I was really into, like back in the 2000s, early 2000s. I love their stuff, but there's a similarity to me with what they do. It's very different, but there are similarities. But I love what they're doing. So, I mean, gosh, it's been a while. It was this year, but it was that first Mano no Aware cover that they did, that little like tongue twister. I don't know when. Whenever that came out. Whenever that came out was when I found out about them. And then just slowly bits and pieces I would check little things out here and there. But yeah, but I didn't listen to a lot of their stuff. I didn't know their names even when I went to their show, but I was like, I know I want to check them out. I like them enough because there were other shows that they were playing, but I couldn't make it because it was weekdays or whatever else. So I was like, I really got to check them out. And luckily, again, it was a holiday, so I was like, okay, I have to do this. I have to check them out. And being that I usually go to shows that are either metal, metalcore, hard rock, um, it was a nice welcome change of pace. The crowd scene was different, the vibe was different, but I mean, just being so blown away by the music, the musicality, the stage, what they did, and I felt like, oh, these girls deserve like everything. They deserve everything they're getting. And I definitely wish more for them, and I'm definitely gonna be like following them from here on in the future to see what else they can do. It was good stuff. It was really good stuff. So yeah, that was my experience with HAKU. And I will be seeing them again in a month, so I'm very happy about that. Wish it was sooner. They're also doing a couple of shows in Korea, one in Seoul and then one in Busan, which is going to be like, I think the second week of December. Wish I could go. Wondering, should I book a flight over and go? Oh, but no, that's a Friday. So they're performing on a Friday, so I can't fly over because of work. Shame. But I will keep you updated on how things are with that. Okay, other than that, yesterday I went to go see the FRAIL. They also put out a new music video called Unbreakable. But the FRAIL I've been following for a while. I hadn't seen them perform since their two-man with Gangire, and this was mid-July. So I did reach out to Natsuo, the bassist. I usually contact her about stuff. But I said, I want to go, but I have work. When will it end? She said, I was like, I might get there by 8 o'clock. She's like, oh, that's probably when we're either ending or when there'll be like an encore. because they don't have like a huge discography as the Frail. They do have other songs as Bubble, but it seems as though they've stopped playing performing those. But I was like, okay, I still need to go out, and I did promise Arisa, the new guitarist, I promised her I would give her a copy of Scoop, the Bandmate album, and then a couple of other Bandmate CDs that I have. One was a Conqueror copy I had, and then one was actually, which one was it? It might have been the during the coronavirus when they were playing just live streams. It might have been the one that they released on Blu-ray DVD. I think that was the one. I didn't actually look again. I put it in and I forgot what it was. Tattletale or Carpenter's Blue? No, I haven't. But I'll check it out. Yeah, Tattletale or Carpenter's Blue. There's so many bands. It's crazy. Like it's tough in Japan. Like I kid you not. Like every time you think you have like at least a good idea of how many bands are here, it's yeah, that's the one. I think that's the one I gave her. But there are just literally like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of bands. Like you have no clue. It's just I feel like one in every 10, one out of every 10 like person in Tokyo is a musician of some sort. That's what it feels like sometimes. Um but yeah, so I did see them. I did catch a couple of their songs of the Frail. Um, I was glad to do that. It was good to say hi to them. It was nice because Gina, when I saw her, she's like, "Oh, how's your foot?" And it's so nice when people remember. Um, yeah, so it was really nice. And then Matsu and Nana from Gangire were there, so I got to see them, talk to them, take a photo with them, and I did ask Nana because I'm kind of realizing it's easier to reach out to individual members of bands versus trying to get all the bands together because they might be busy doing like different stuff. Um, so I'm kind of in that mentality of just reaching out to like individual people. And so one of my first individual is it okay to mention this? Should I mention this? Mm, yeah, I think it's okay. I will be doing a project with Sally. So that'll be nice. I'll also be doing something coming up soon with Arisa of Doll Parts, which would be very nice. I did ask Nana yesterday. I was like, hey, would you be interested in doing like a couple of covers with me on acoustic and you singing? So that may happen. I'll have to reach out to her if I have the time. I still have to take care of other stuff. And then Arisa, there's a lot of Arisas. Arisa from The Frail. She is a huge Bandmate fan, and she will be going to Tokyo Garden Theater in a couple of weeks. So I said, oh, do you mind doing an interview with me before the show and then after the show? So that will be something else to look forward to. Um, it's always cool to hear a musician, especially for someone who really like loves what Bandmate is doing, and she's absolutely in love with Konami as a guitarist, and she's a huge inspiration for her. So I'm excited to see her point of view and her perspective as somebody who just started really in the music scene and sort of what she wants to accomplish and how she feels about Bandmate and stuff. So that should be fun as well. Um, yeah. So those are a few things that are coming up. And then I will be doing some more photo projects, just photography for shows. This Saturday, Hades and Stereo Gang at Crescendo. Sunday, Aya's birthday. She's doing her Aya stuff, the Queen team, as well as Undying Words, and I'll be there for that as well. So it'll be back to back Saturday, Sunday. It'll be busy. So Hades, Stereo Gang, and then Aya along with Undying Words. So I will see Kano again. Not Haku Kano. I will be seeing Undying Words, Dim Rays, and now Zilki Kano. So that should be good. Next Sunday, I will be seeing Gangire again here in Shimokitazawa. They're doing an acoustic set, about 30 minutes. So after work, I'll be heading over. The time works out just about right. So I'll take just a camera, maybe one lens. Yeah, I think maybe one lens would be good enough. And then just do some shots for them. And there's a lot of other stuff. Yeah, there's doll parts. The One Man at Aoyama Rhythm, December 13th. There's Mile Fest, December 20th. 21st is Hades One Man, but there's also Undying Words at Cyclone. I'll be attending that show to help out Aya and Undying Words. And there's other stuff. I mean, there's just other stuff. And there's always other stuff. There's always a lot of other stuff. I had to turn down Eric Ifune. Thank you so much for the offer to go with him to attend Saisega's 5-year anniversary. So it's an embarrassment of riches, and it really is tough. It really is tough. So, oh yeah, that reminds me. Tomorrow actually will be Sally's last performance with Mellows at Shibuya Rex. She will still be on helping out with compositions and recording for the next album. But in terms of live performances, tomorrow is her last. I wish I could attend, but when I check the schedule, having to. Oh, okay, no problem at all. You take care of your shirts, take care of your health. No problem. Thanks for joining us. Um, I will see you again soon, I'm sure. And then, yeah, the timing didn't work out. They start early. They're like the topper, so it's gonna be tough. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, as always, like there is no end to how amazing it is to just see all these rock metal bands, metalcore bands, and then HAKU is much more J-pop rock. But man, they're so good. They're so good. Really, really love their stuff. And some of you guys who are like, like eminent subscribers, you may not be into that kind of music, but just live, check out HAKU and see what you think. But it depends on which live too, and you can only get so much. But yeah, it's been a good recovery coming back, slowly getting back into the scene, and I'm like kind of starting to head deep into it. There's a lot of little stuff I'm going to be doing, stuff that I want to do. There is a major project that I want to do next year with Dim Rays, and hopefully it all works out, and I will let you know what goes down. Bye, Yushi-san. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Take care of your shirt. Yeah. I think I will stop here for today. Unless there's any particular questions or like comments that you have for me to respond to. Yeah, okay. It seems like nothing. Okay. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it seems like that'll do for today. Is Sally doing her own project? Yes, Sally is really going to be focusing on her solo stuff. I don't know. It's good. Yeah, it's good. um, or the band. No, the band. I don't know their stuff besides that song. um, but Sally will be working on her own stuff. I don't know how far she's gonna go with it or what else she wants to do, but there's definitely gonna be an emphasis on that for the upcoming year. So yeah, what exactly? I don't know. I will be seeing her soon, So I guess I could ask her about that. But whether I'm allowed to divulge anything or not, that's a different story. So, you know, loose lips sink ships. So you know, I still want to be careful of that. But yeah, that will be all right now. Again, a lot of different stuff going on. Shows to attend, photos to take, interviews to do, and it's really fun to do that. And I gotta say, I do get tired, but it's tons of fun, and I really don't regret like the opportunities that I have, and I really should be taking them now because who knows when I'm gonna kick the bucket, right? With my with my scarred right foot. But yeah, thank you so much for joining today. Um, yeah, if you have not heard of, definitely check out Nekomeshi 222, 4xx error code, HAKU, FRAIL, their new song Unbreakable, Envy is out now. Hades, of course, the Stereo Gang, um, Aya, Undying Words, Gangire, I mean, Sally, Zilke. Oh yeah. So I did purchase their CDs, and I got, this is from Tower. So we have Toki and we have Anna or Anna. Would have loved to have Kano, but what are you gonna do? Maybe Miho too would just be nice. But oh, so it turns out that I will not be attending that show, even though I really wanted to. It seems like things just have not worked out. So I'll end it on that sad, sad note. Okay. This has been Peter from MNN. I will see you guys again soon. This weekend will be busy and I'll be tired. So probably I will be skipping another week of live streams. But I think following, oh, Bandmade, yeah, I will definitely follow up on Bandmade on the 7th of December for TGT. So, okay. All right, guys. You guys have a good day. Do what you need to do. Don't break anything. Don't sprain anything. And if you do, heal up fast. I will see you guys again soon. Bye. Thanks.